How's everyone doing? I am Rich Celenza. Thanks for checking out my channel. So I just did a previous video on what I thought regarding sport coats. How many sport coats does somebody actually need? If you want, you could definitely check that out. But what I'm going to get into today is actually regarding dress shirts and what I think people need. And this isn't somebody who is very corporate, let's say, for instance, who's going to be wearing a ton of different, dress shirts, for instance, or wears one every day. This is for somebody who's kind of the average Joe, or somebody who's younger that really doesn't have a lot of dress clothes, and somebody who a lot of times doesn't go to a lot of occasions where he's dressing up, right? And I think this is where a lot of people kind of pitching on other people that they need a lot more than what they need, I guess you could say. And I think what I'm going to kind of touch base on is kind of going the opposite of what a lot of people are always kind of trying to pitch, which, say, for instance, you have a closet and you're like, okay, you need this X amount of dress shirts, you need this X amount of sport coats, you need this many suits. I'm going to minimize this to death because I think, especially in this day and age, a lot of people are wearing a lot less dress clothes, depending on the career and the lifestyle you lead. But a lot of younger people I know, for the most part, they like wearing a dress shirt for the most part, maybe with a bow tie or regular tie. But what I'm going to get into today is very simple regarding this. And I think for one, young people especially, you need to find something that fits you. I talk about it all the time. That's going to be the main thing here. All right, you got to understand a lot of younger people that haven't grown up in an environment going to a lot of different occasions or being around a lot of different, could be fashion in general, or around a lot of people that dress up, let's say, or their parents were more or less, blue collar. And, I think sometimes they think they got to spend all this money and do all these things to look a certain way. And I'm here to tell you don't have to do that, especially at the beginning. If you eventually want to, that's wonderful. But what I would start off with, and you may think I'm crazy, and I just talked about this regarding the sport coat, is I would start off with 2 shirts. But they have to be nice shirts that fit you. That doesn't mean you have to spend a ton of money on these shirts. I just want to make sure the quality is really good. Okay, and you can get that, again, new at a resale consignment store. You could get it at a big box store, curbside, whatever, all different styles. You can find white shirts everywhere. What I'd recommend is one being a long sleeve cufflink shirt. Now, you may not even know what a cufflink is. Maybe you do. But a cufflink shirt, and if you don't know what cufflinks are, you can just look them up. It's just something that is on the bottom of the shirt that kind of pokes through, and it gives it a really clean, beautiful look. It replaces a button. And there's a lot of different styles. And when you're wearing a sport coat, say, for instance, or even without one, it just brings a lot of class and elegance to the bottom of that shirt. And I would definitely recommend getting one of those. If you don't have cufflinks, you can get them cheap at a lot of different places, or you could get high-end ones as well. And even if you ask maybe your father, your brother, family members, a lot of people have extra cufflinks sitting around. But I would definitely have one white, clean cufflink shirt. Make sure that collar fits you really well. All right. The other would be just a regular long sleeve white shirt, right? Just buttons. But again, it's got to look right on you. The shoulders got to fit right. The collar, again, the neck, the length has got to be good. I don't want the white shirt to be too long here. I don't want this hanging too low. I don't want, all these different types of things. We need to make sure that shirt fits you perfectly. Even if you have to spend a little more money and go get it tailored. I would start with those 2. When you're really starting off, a lot of times, nothing, I believe, looks better than a white, clean shirt. It goes, say now you want to buy a sport coat. I don't care if it's blue, gray, black, beige, whatever the case may be, red if you're eccentric, whatever. The white shirt is going to pop. It's always going to look good under everything. A lot of people then say go black, a straight black shirt. I get it. A black shirt looks cool, don't get me wrong, but it kind of, if you're wearing dark suits like a lot of people, and then you put the black, you get lost in there. You don't even see it. Or if you got the suit and then the white shirt underneath, it pops. Boom. So I would first just start off with white shirts. Or I would spend maybe a little more money on, when you're wearing that, are your ties, for instance. So if you like a bow tie, you start spending a little more money. That's affordable. And it's unique every time you go out. If you could find a new bow tie, you could have like 3 or 4. You could buy them from $5 all the way up to who knows what. I would start off with a black and white one. But again, you're not me. The only reason I would do that is because, I think if you go to certain, type of affairs, black and white will always look good. But a white on a white shirt, not so much unless you get a sport coat. So, and I'm going to talk about that at the end here. But yeah, I would definitely get bow ties, at least black, and then whatever colors you like on there. Because when you're wearing them, that's what people are going to notice. All right. Now, if you're going, like I said, to a bunch of different occasions, you don't want to always be stuck in a white shirt. I get that. But this is for somebody who doesn't go to a lot and somebody who just always, wants to look dressed up. And it could be once every few months, start with the white shirt and then move on from there. Then kind of figure out what color works best for you after that. Again, a black one, a lot of people may say, get that next. No, if you're pale, for instance, it may not look that good on you. It may not, it just may not be right. You may look great in, I don't know what color shirt, but you may want to go test a bunch of different shirts so the next shirt you get and the next one after that works well for you as well. Now, I'm just going to flip it now back to if you do decide to buy a sport coat, I just discussed it. You only need one, in my opinion. Start off with a dark blue one. And then again, you can wear these white shirts underneath there. And I would invest, and I discussed this before in the other one, on the other video, is going with pocket scarves. But a lot of people don't like those. But if you want to kind of, jazz things up, those are cheap accessories you can buy again to make things look very, very unique and eccentric or kind of make statements. Instead, a lot of people I know, they go out and buy a bunch of sport coats, right? A ton of different shirts. I call it dead inventory in the closet. They spend thousands of dollars a lot of times. And very seldom do they wear a lot of these things. What happens is they end up getting attached to certain shirts. A few of them. Sport coat, 1 or 2 of them. And this is coming from me. I don't even know how many sport coats I have. I've gone through these phases where I had to get rid of them all, and then I got a bunch. Right now I have a ton, I'm not going to lie. I don't even know how many I have. And really, when it comes down to it, because I have to go to Chicago tomorrow, I usually only wear a few of those sport coats. Same with a lot of my shirts. I have a ton of shirts, but I have these go-to shirts that I know that look clean. They fit me the best. So I just want to do a video on this. I don't want to get too long-winded, but please pay attention to not spending a lot of money on clothes and finding less pieces, right, affordably, that look great on you and that you're going to pull off as well. Make sure they look, when you're wearing them, they're just, they're accenting you and your body. And, I get a lot of guys, you may be heavy, you may be too thin. Pay attention to your clothes, and they have to fit you right. And even though you may not look fantastic in clothes, I get it. I've been there. I've been heavy. I've been too thin. So just something to think about. And if you really don't like the way you look, regarding your clothes, start watching some of my videos. I talk a ton about fitness, how to lose weight, how to gain muscle, all these different types of things. And if you are somebody that isn't comfortable right now, with their weight, definitely don't spend tons of money buying clothes, okay? Let's be realistic about this. If you want to lose weight, you know what I mean? Then let's wait a little bit. I mean, if you need a shirt, you got to buy a shirt, but let's wait to get to the size you want to. And if you want to gain some muscle, you got to wait to start investing in your wardrobe when you get to where you need to be, is what I should say more than anything, okay? All right, I do have a little trick. I'll throw it in here. If you do want to start gaining weight, I used to get, this isn't dress clothes, but just regular clothes. If I wanted to get bigger and bigger, I brought a size up because I always felt small and I always wanted to lift weights to fill that shirt. And if I wanted to lose weight, same way, I'd buy a size smaller and I'd put it on and be kind of like, oh my God, this thing is way too tight on me. I got to lose weight. It was kind of a way to guide me. That's just something I used to do. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there. If you get a chance, check out my podcast, The Rich Celenza Show. I'm also on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. If you get a chance, subscribe. You have any comments or anything, questions or whatever. I also do, actually, this is my buddy's office, Robert Beninati, and he's my co-host on my podcast. If you get a chance, check out his podcast as well, Real Business, and then we do one together as well. So, all right, I'm going to wrap it up there. Take care, and I wish you nothing but the best.